Parks are the beauty spots of our cities. Urban sanctuaries for nature, people, and culture. We explore 5 of the most beautiful city parks in Europe, in all 4 seasons. Our journey of discovery today takes us to Stockholm and the Royal National City Park. The huge open space right in the city centre is a feast for all senses. Stockholm, capital of the Kingdom of Sweden. In early spring, the Scandinavian metropolis enjoys the first warm, sunny days of the year. Over the centuries, the ancient Viking settlement has grown and now extends over 14 islands at the mouth of Lake Mälaren. After a long, cold winter, the people of Stockholm welcome the first delicate signs of spring. In the heart of the city, on the Djurgården peninsula, we begin our journey through the Royal National City Park. Djurgården means game park. It was once the exclusive hunting ground of the Swedish king. Since it was open to the public, it has become a true urban oasis. Rosendal, on the southern tip of Djurgården, has opened for the season. The fun fair was founded in 1883 and is Sweden's oldest amusement park. Over 30 attractions invite visitors to throw caution and coiffure to the wind. Just a short walk away is Skansen, the oldest open-air museum in the world. Here, 500 years of Swedish history come alive. A place straight out of an Astrid Lindgren novel. For Charlotte Ahnlund, working at Skansen is more than just a job.
Alltså, det är ju ingen slump att...
It's no coincidence that the museum was built on Djurgården.
För Djurgården är stockholmarnas...
Because since it was open to the public, Djurgården has become the most popular place for entertainment here in Stockholm.
För människor.
People come here if they want to have fun.
Det är hit stockholmarna har kommit när de vill ha roligt. Jag tänker så här om Skansen att det är
Skansen is a very important place for me.
Jag var här mycket när jag var liten.
I came here a lot when I was a child.
Om att leka historia när jag var liten.
I really enjoyed pretending to live in the old days.
Äldre tider och hur man levde då. Sen läste jag själv.
Later I trained to be a teacher. Occasionally, I worked here during the summer and I loved it. And then I thought, that's what I really want to do as a job. Charlotta and her team make history come alive.
Alltså, våra museipedagoger.
As museum educators, we make sure that visitors can really immerse themselves in the past. They meet a real person who can bridge the gap between the past and the present.
Nu till då. Skansen är inte...
I think that people here in Sweden don't see Skansen as a museum. Skansen is Skansen. It's something unique.
Någonting eget.
You first come here when you're a child. Somebody takes you by the hand, you look around
i handen eller så. Och
and start discovering.
i ett hus och tittar och tycker att det är spännande.
In each of the more than 150 buildings, visitors are invited to step into the past. In the 16th century Finnish village, for instance, everybody can help the museum educators comb out and spin wool. A few doors down and a few centuries later, it smells deliciously of fresh bread. Original costumes and tools make the illusion complete. Charlotte Ahnlund enjoys living in the past.
Man kanske tycker att det är lite...
People may find it a bit corny, but this place is important.
Det
It's part of our way of life.
i människors liv.
Skansen not only preserves architectural history and ancient crafts, it also keeps traditions alive. Each year on Beltane, at the end of April, thousands of people gather at Skansen to say goodbye to winter and welcome spring. In the warm glow of the bonfire, we understand that Skansen really is much more than a museum. The place has its own magic. Although Djurgården boasts a museum and an amusement park, large parts of the king's former hunting ground have remained untouched. A little spot of wilderness right in the heart of the city. We are moving towards the west and reach Isbladskäret Lake. The wetland is within walking distance of Skansen and less than a kilometre away from the centre of Stockholm. Yet it's renowned for its rich flora and fauna. In the tall trees of the marshland, grey herons have built their nests. A group of passionate bird watchers regularly visits the colony. Every first Tuesday of the month, these hobby ornithologists flock to the Royal National City Park. Henrik Waldenström leads the group. I started the Tuesday Club about 30 years ago. I want to show people the rich biodiversity in this park. In this case, by observing the bird life. Bird watching is no easy task because most feathered objects of attention act coyly. Patience is needed, but good things come to those who wait. This is so nice. With over 70 bird species in the park, identifying them can be a challenge. Beginners find it difficult to identify bird calls. But then suddenly you hear this. That's a great tit. And then another one that sounds like a coin spinning on a table. Today we even get to see a woodcock, a hard-to-spot inhabitant of Djurgården. The large, eye-catching grey herons are somewhat easier to observe. Most of the bird watchers come here regularly to enjoy the pristine environment.
Och det som de känner, det är
You can experience the richness of nature even so close to the city. You don't have to travel far. Scientists say that being outdoors and visiting spots like these is very healthy for urban residents. And you really do feel better when you get home from a Tuesday club outing.
Och det känner de som väl när de kommer hem från tisdagsklubben.
At the end of the day, when the bird watchers happily record their sightings, Henrik Waldenström knows that he's succeeded. He's made them see the world with different eyes.
Vad spännande att få lära sig naturens ord.
How exciting to discover things that you wouldn't have seen otherwise. Look here, look there. I teach them how to sharpen their eyes and sharpen their ears. How to look for traces of animals that we can't see, although we know that they are there. I want to inspire them to discover things on their own. Summer has arrived in the Royal National City Park. At this time of year, the Djurgården Peninsula and its surrounding waters are Stockholm's recreation area number one. The park has retained much of its original character. This is largely due to the royal family. They helped to preserve the legacy of their former game park even after it was opened to the public. In 1995, the Royal National City Park was established as the world's first national city park. Disturbing its flora or fauna is strictly prohibited. That's why the dense oak forests in the heart of the peninsula have remained untouched. Here, nature has been left to its own devices. A paradise for intrepid explorers.
Man har innerstan som någon form av.
At one end of the extreme, you have the city centre, and on the other, you have the National City Park. I think it gives the people of Stockholm an enormous amount of strength and peace. You can really get lost here. That's pretty cool. You can walk into the forest and forget where you came from and where you are heading. Nicholas Carlson lives and works on Djurgården. The 35-year-old regularly roams the wilderness to search for fresh summer herbs and berries, especially when the elder is in bloom. Directly on the edge of the forest are the Rosendal Palace Gardens. This used to be the palace's orchard. Today, it's Nicholas Carlson's workplace. The orchard and the orangerie are signs of the royal family's keen interest in gardening. Today, the Rosendal Gardens belong to a foundation committed to preserving biological diversity and sustainable agriculture. For me, being a gardener here means to be part of something bigger,
spel som
We provide others with good food.
andra människor med mat.
And we bring a little more freedom and love to the world.
Och kunna utveckla kärlek
That's the most important thing.
som är det viktigaste.
That's the essence, I'd
Det
say.
är det som är essensen skulle jag säga.
For Nicholas Carlson, organic gardening is a philosophy. In the shade of the old apple trees, visitors can enjoy the fruits of his work.
Men jag tror också att man känner ett ansvar för
You feel responsible somehow,
i världen som inte
because so much is going wrong in this world.
och hur man
Just look at food production and how we treat life in general.
och jag tror att
Rosendal's main task, at least that's how I see it, is to create a counterbalance,
vara en motpol och en
to create an alternative,
alternativ till den
to celebrate the joy of life.
det livsglädjen eller
Compost is an essential element in organic gardening. A bit of kitchen and garden waste. That's all you need to grow your own fertilizer. The natural cycle of decay and growth provides valuable nutrients for Rosendal's gardens.
det som jag tycker är så vackert med kompostprocessen.
The beauty of composting
att
is that it takes about a year before the compost is ready to be used.
och det är
So it's
liksom
full of last year's
förra året
life,
som kommer och
and it comes back again as this living organism we call compost. It's like a story from last year that's being told again.
Fjolårets historia berättat genom komposten.
The fruits and vegetables grown in Rosendal's gardens are for the palace kitchen. Sowing and harvesting are carefully planned.
Om man säger så här, jag tycker det är beundransvärt att man
I think it's admirable how the royal family has helped to preserve the environment here.
sättet som man har gjort att bevara den här naturen.
They did a great job. Hats off to them.
Det är ju liksom det är ett arv.
And when you realize that this work has been going on for many centuries,
För det, alltså.
then you realize that this is really something quite
Man upplever
unique.
också i hela det arbete som har pågått under flera hundra år är liksom någonting som är världsunikt.
Situated on a wooded hillside, Rosendal Palace overlooks Djurgården's south bank. Here, Ulrika Heller of the Royal Park Management takes care of things. The palace was built between 1823 and 1827. Rather than a pompous seat of power, it was meant to provide refuge from the political hustle and bustle of the capital. Today, visitors can enjoy the serene beauty of the palace's apartments. We are back in the center of Stockholm. In trendy Södermalm, a BMX rider is showing off his skills. BMX, or bicycle motocross, originated in the US and gradually made its way to Europe. We meet one of the veterans of the sport. My name is Andreas Lindqvist. I'm 41 years old. I'm a professional BMX rider and I grew up here in Stockholm. After 2 World Championship titles and many painful injuries, Andreas Lindqvist is taking it a bit easier these days. By now, riding has become more of a lifestyle for me. It's just nice to get out. I feel no need to practice anymore, no pressure. If I feel like it, I just grab my bike and ride. I like riding through the park and practicing my tricks. I just take it easy. The Royal National City Park is Andreas's favorite spot. Occasionally, he still takes part in competitions, but his main job is managing an events agency. I think this rural spot in the heart of the city is very important for Stockholm and its people. You can be on the water, you can be on Djurgården, and it's like being in the countryside. I realize that myself. If you have a stressful job like I do, it's important to get out and relax a bit. And for Andreas Lindqvist, this means riding his bike. I appreciate this much more now that I'm older. When I was younger, I was so absorbed by my training that I spent a lot of time indoors and didn't get out much. Today, I really love being outdoors. BMX will always be a part of my life. I have 2 kids now, but that doesn't mean that I cycle less. On the contrary, I'm really looking forward to riding with them when they're older. BMX is not something that you can just stop doing. It's a lifestyle, an identity. This will always be part of my life. On those long, warm summer evenings, the sun casts a golden glow over the Royal National City Park. At sunset, boats scatter the bay of Djurgården to catch the last rays of light. Everybody knows that Scandinavian summers are short. It's the end of September. In autumn, the leaves turn vibrant shades of orange, yellow, and red. People enjoy the last warm days in the National City Park. The fence that once enclosed the royal hunting grounds runs along the edge of the park. On a small promontory on the southern tip of Djurgården lies the Valdemars Udde Museum. This is where the Swedish Royal Navy used to anchor. Today, the cannon ships have been replaced by the huge passenger ferries connecting Stockholm with Finland and the Baltic. At the end of the 18th century, the king began to lease the exclusive plots of land on Djurgården's south bank to family members and friends. Later, rich business people were also allowed to settle here. Many of the hidden villas are still owned by the old families who run factories, banks, or publishing companies. Because of its beautiful views and its proximity to the park, this area remains to be one of the most exclusive residential areas in Stockholm. On the eastern tip of Djurgården, we reach the Thiel estate. At the beginning of the 20th century, banker Ernest Thiel built this villa to house his family and his growing art collection. After Thiel's death, his villa was turned into an art gallery. It's still one of the lesser-known gems of the National City Park, but that's about to change. Because now the Thielska Gallery not only satiates the cultural appetite, Chef and well-known book author Monica Ahlberg took over the gallery's cafe a few years ago and turned it into a gourmet hotspot.
Jag tycker att det är skönt att komma hit på morgnarna.
It's nice to come here in the morning. I feel happy when I come up the stairs. It's like coming home.
Det känns skönt. Det känns som att jag är hemma.
Hey, how are you? Good, thanks.
Jag älskar blommor och
I love flowers. I think flowers and food belong together. I can't imagine not having flowers on the kitchen table or in the dining room. A dancer by training, she never thought she would end up being a chef until she discovered her passion for fresh food, for cooking and baking. The advantage of not being a trained chef is that you have to learn everything by yourself. You make mistakes, and this is how you develop your own style. I tend to say that I have made every mistake there is to make, and that this is the reason why I know so much. Monica follows her instincts when she creates new dishes. She only cooks what she likes. The result is a feast for all senses. For me, it's very important what the food looks like. When I'm preparing or arranging the food, I always imagine that I'm painting a picture. I'm creating something that people like to look at. Of course, the quality of the ingredients is paramount. Freshness is king. It's important to consider what's in season. The easiest way to prepare good food is to use fresh fruits and vegetables. Apple strudel is a classic and one of Monica Ahlberg's many specialities. To prepare it, she needs a good oven and perfect timing.
15 minutes.
Apart from being a chef, Monica Ahlberg writes best-selling cookbooks. Quite often, her guests ask her for an autograph. A native of Stockholm, she knows why people are drawn to the park.
Djurgården, eller kungliga Djurgården som det
I believe that Djurgården is very important for Stockholm.
Eller jag vet att det är det.
I know for sure that it is.
Mitt i stan.
It's the city's green lung.
Framförallt också så är det ju.
But above all, it's just incredibly beautiful.
Jag tror inte att
I don't think that Stockholm could exist without this lung.
Som jag skulle kalla det.
With one last look back, we leave Djurgården and move north. The Kocknes-Tornet television tower marks the border between the southern and the northern parts of the park. This is the narrowest section of the green belt. The Gärdet neighborhood also belongs to the Royal National City Park. We follow the green alleys between the houses to Haga Park. Haga Park forms part of the northern section of the Royal National City Park. Designed in 1781, it was Sweden's first landscape garden based on the English model. Here we meet Kolbjörn Wern.
Min uppgift är ju, kan vi säga, specifikt.
There are many people looking after Haga Park's flora and fauna. My job is to care for its historical heritage.
Se till den historiska dimensionen.
A task that requires not only artistic skills, but a profound understanding of 18th century natural philosophy.
Så att det var inte bara ett trädgårdsmode utan det var en
This was not a garden fashion,
ny syn på människan.
but rather a new understanding of man's relationship with nature.
En ödmjukare attityd på något
In
vis.
some way, it was a humble recognition of our place in the universe.
Gjorde att en sån här park kändes så mycket.
This philosophy makes the park feel more genuine.
Ha de här
No,
träden som
we
är
won't
knutna
have
till
trees that are
kanter
cut into
eller
squares
pelare,
or
utan
columns.
låta träden växa upp.
Trees should look the way God has made them.
Herre ville att de skulle se ut.
They are beautiful because they are allowed to develop their own inherent characteristics.
Sina egna inneboende egenskaper och så vidare.
But even so, the park must be managed. The 67-year-old landscape architect has a keen eye for the right balance between nature and nurture.
Jag ser ju så många fler bottnar.
I see so many different layers and dimensions in this park,
Skulle önska att
and I hope visitors can see them too.
kan se. Att de, när de skymtar,
For example,
den
this is not
turkiska
just a
kiosken,
funny little
att det inte
house,
bara är en
but the Turkish kiosk.
lite lustig byggnad.
And these trees
De
are
här
not
träden
simply old trees,
är för
but
mig
they are
inte
telling us
bara
a story.
gamla träd, utan de berättar ju en historia.
Kolbjörn works hard to preserve this cultural heritage.
Det tycker jag också då är charmigt med denna
I think it's
kontrasten
charming
mellan
to have this
tätbebyggda
contrast
staden
between the densely populated city
det lantliga
and
som
this
ligger
natural
så
environment
alldeles
so close to the center.
staden. Och det är en
This
kvalitet
is something that
som
needs
man
to
får
be
försöka värna
protected.
om.
Haga Park's design was celebrated for its novel approach to nature.
Efter Hagaparken så kom ju den här stilen att få ett
After Haga
stort
Park,
genomslag.
this style
Överallt.
became incredibly successful.
Gjordes på varenda slott och herrgård
Castles,
och även
manors, and even
större
farms.
gårdar så ville man ha något.
Everywhere people wanted to have such a park.
Det var ett,
It really had a strong
ja, det
impact.
fick ett väldigt starkt genomslag.
But Haga Park itself remained unfinished. King Gustav III, who had commissioned the park, was assassinated in 1792. That's also why the great castle, which was meant to be a monument for the king, was never completed. The current size of the park is only a third of what was originally planned. Never mind, it's still beautiful. It's December, winter time in Stockholm. The rivers and lakes of the Royal National City Park are covered with thick sheets of ice. Skaters use the waterways for excursions far beyond the city limits. At the Bay of Edsviken in northern Stockholm, we reach Ulriksdal Palace. Until the middle of the 20th century, this was the residence of the Swedish royal family. We meet painter Göran Moder in the castle's gardens. I grew up very close to Haga Park. The National City Park is a unique treasure we have here in Stockholm. It's obviously nice to be outside, to walk a bit, or, like today, paint a bit. Göran Moder never plans his paintings. He likes to be inspired.
När jag ska ut och måla i naturen.
When I go out and paint nature, I always look for contrasts, lights, shadows, and the tension they create. Trees, lakes, riverbanks, or small islands. Motifs are plentiful in the Royal National City Park.
Jag ser ju direkt när jag
I can see right away when I've come to the right place.
Jag hittar det.
Instinctively, I know when I found something interesting.
Det här är någonting som är intressant.
His upbringing helped him to develop this instinct.
Jag har alltid
I have always drawn and
växt
painted.
upp i en sån miljö. Så att det har varit en
It was a natural part of my childhood.
del av min uppväxt.
His mother painted just like his sister and his uncle. Göran Modér soon began to concentrate on landscape painting. The Royal National City Park is where he finds most of his motifs.
Det är en oerhörd
This is an immense source of power for the people of Stockholm and the region.
i regionen. Ja, att kunna...
To be able to come out here today, for example,
Vackert väder.
beautiful weather,
En underbar
a wonderful winter
vinter.
day,
Kallt kanske.
a little cold perhaps, but still amazing.
Jag känner mig väldigt
I
nöjd.
feel very happy to have seized this day.
Avverkat
It feels
den här.
good.
Känns bra.
Winter has tightened its grip on the Royal National City Park. Early in the morning, the cool, wet air from the Baltic Sea shrouds the trees in a dense blanket of fog. Even if the sun manages to break through, it will only be light for a few hours. Icy temperatures far below zero let life grind to a halt. The north of the park, furthest away from Stockholm city centre, is now virtually deserted. But even in winter, the workers of the Royal Forestry Administration need to look after the trees. The forest is mostly left to its own devices, but where young saplings endanger the centuries-old tree population, action must be taken. After the workers have left, icy silence once again settles over the Royal National City Park. But not everybody huddles up inside. We are back at Ulriksdal Castle. Lars Ekstedt prepares for a ride with a difference. The balloon pilot wants to explore the wintry park from above. He plans to travel from Ulriksdal to Djurgården, if the winds are in his favor.
När jag startar så har jag ju
When I set out, I always have a destination in mind where I want to end up. The challenge is to get there. People say, you want to be master of the winds. That's true. And it's up to me if I end up where I wanted or not. This is why some regular pilots find it difficult to fly a balloon, because you cannot tell the balloon which way to go. Instead, you have to try and find the right winds and rely on your own skills and experience. You have to forget everything and concentrate on the flight. Maybe this is why I have been doing this for so long. It's the best way to relax. You can't do anything else but fly. Before takeoff, Lars has a lot of preparation to do. A big task, not only for the pilot, but also for his crew. Lars Ekstedt's team has been doing this for years. It takes them only 25 minutes to get the balloon ready.
Först är det ju första steget när
The
man
first step is to light the burner
och sätter
and
för
start to fill the balloon.
Då kopplar man bort
Then you
allt
forget everything else around you.
och så fyller
And when the
och så ser
balloon
man ballongen
rises,
resa
you
sig
are in a
uppåt.
completely different
Då är man
world.
i en helt annan
Then
värld.
there is only one
Då
thing
är
that
det bara
counts,
en sak som
and that is to
gäller.
control the balloon.
Över ballongen.
There aren't many instruments helping Lars Ekstedt to steer his craft. The gas-fired burner is his main tool and the only way to control the balloon's flight.
Det är en speciell känsla.
It's a special feeling and hard to explain.
Väldigt
You become very,
fokuserad.
very
Nästan
focused.
som
It's like having tunnel vision. Look at our balloon. It's quite small, but it still weighs 2 tons.
Har ändå en massa.
And when the wind grabs it, the forces
När
are
vinden tar
immense.
tag i den så är det ju stora krafter. Så att det finns det här.
In English, you have this phrase, master of the
Lite
universe.
så man känner sig. Att
And you really feel a bit like that.
befälhavare.
I'm the commander of this craft, this balloon.
Nu ska
And
jag
this is where I want to
ta det till
go.
det här stället. Det är kul att vara från
It's really nice to live in a city where you have this. I can't imagine that all Parisians feel like this about the Jardin de Luxembourg, or all New Yorkers about Central Park. There certainly aren't many cities where people have such a strong relationship with a place and are so proud of it.
Och är så stolta över.
Pride. A feeling we have encountered many times on our journey through the Royal National City Park. And gratitude to the authorities who had the foresight to preserve this beauty spot right in the heart of their city. Thanks to them, the park remains a haven of tranquility and serenity for the people of Stockholm.